Sometimes with that background music, it's covering up the mic. So good, yay. I love that song. It reminds me of 1980 something, maybe 1990 something, when we would just like go all out and get lots of movement, just organic movement, just by feeling our body move, and feeling our body move made us move more because it just felt good. And as we get older, we get more sedentary, and we're more in our heads, and we're not as much in our bodies. So that's what I'm inviting you guys to do, particularly, is get more into our bodies and really appreciate it and really understand what it needs, with regard to nutrition and with movement, and also with mental and emotional health as well, because that mental and emotional health, if we're not good in those, we let the physical go. We're not as concerned about it. We're not motivated to do anything physically. Everything combines together. So I have a friend, a very good friend, Angelique Santana, who is a vegan chef, and she's just amazing. She's also a coach, and she coaches people on food. And I have her book. It's called Food is Love, and it's a great, great vegan cookbook. But it's more than that. It's her stories about her clients. And what I love is this statement that one of her clients said. She says that she was she's in paying more attention to what is coming into her body and living and having those living foods coming into the body and really understanding what her body needs. She says at the end of the day, you must ask yourself, what is more important than me? Right? And you might think, okay, well, that's really, I'm being very selfish, right? If I only think about me. Well, let me ask you, who else is? It is your job. You are worthy. You are connected with this world. And if we don't take care of us, then there goes the connection to those we love and to those who are in our world with us. Does that make sense? We're here to take care of us. We have to take care of us, right? We can't, if we don't fill up our cup with self-care, we don't have anything else to give others, right? So I just wanted to start the day with that. And then I wanted to, I'm going to go ahead and sit down. As I said, I sometimes sit and I sometimes am standing. So I'm going to take my computer down with me. So this is my little stand. I'll show you guys. This is my stand that I take with me to do a standing desk. It's great. I think that it was, oh my gosh, maybe $40 on Amazon. And it's amazing. I can take it upstairs to my bed if I want to do work in bed. I took it downstairs to the basement yesterday and put it on a higher table. I just had to adjust it so it wasn't too high. But this is, I've been really enjoying this. It's been really, really good. So we're sitting down now, and I just want you to just go ahead and roll your shoulders and pull them back. Roll them, pull them back again. So yesterday we talked about foam rolling, and we used a tennis ball, and we talked about some knots in our fascia. And I just want to now go into a little bit of a stretch. So it's really good to stretch after we've moved and after we've opened up the fascia and kind of innervated all of the stuff underneath our skin and our muscles, getting them nice and warm. But I'm going to show you some chair stretches that can help you when you're working, at the desk all day long, or if you're sitting, whatever, recovering, doing what you need to do. We're going to just do a little stretch. I'm going to sit sideways, and we're going to, now notice that normally we sit like this, right? We sit with our back curved, and that puts our head forward. So we wind up, and also driving, think about when we're driving like this most of the time, right? And those seats in the car and in airplane seats kill me too. Those seats have a headrest that pushes our head forward in case we're in an accident, and it helps us with whiplash, right? We don't have room to throw our head back if we're in an accident, but chronically, that headrest pushes our head more forward. And I have a slide here. I'm going to share my screen real quick. I'm going to find it. I have a slide here that has what is called tech neck. And you know, I've been in this business for over 20 years, and this was something that I was working with my clients on more than 20 years ago, right? And what I'm seeing now, it's so much worse. Everybody is sitting like this. Everybody is heads forward. And as that head goes forward, just look at the degrees of forward. Even if it went forward just a little bit, that's 27 extra pounds of pressure on your cervical spine. So you wonder why we have sore shoulders and necks. And also because of that head coming forward, then look what happens to the rest of the spine. The spine is supposed to be curved. We're supposed to have a curve in on our cervical spine, then our thoracic spine goes out, then our lumbar spine goes in, and then our sacrum goes out. So it's a beautiful curve that it helps us remain upright and mobile. If it was just a straight line, we wouldn't be as mobile. We wouldn't be able to move. But those curves allow us to flow really easily. So as those curves, once we have that head going forward more and more, then our thoracic spine hunches more and more. We lose the curve in our cervical spine. Look what happens to my lumbar spine. It flattens out. So I then am putting a lot of pressure on my hips here, right, to be mobile and not in biological and neurological and physical position that we can be in. Do you understand that, guys? I love that. My two Susans. Yeah. You guys got that? Yeah, I mean, it's pretty critical. So what you can do, though, is, again, stop the neck. We're just going to take one ear down to one shoulder. And just allow that to drop. Out that ear just kind of draining out. I think that's a good analogy. If I think that my ear is draining out, and then I can kind of contact my with my mind mentally the top of my head and let that top of the head fall down. And then as the top of my head falls down, I'm going to now put my attention on this shoulder, the opposite shoulder. And as you put the attention on this shoulder, can you maybe push that back a little bit? And then now, as you do that, can you maybe take that chin and tuck it towards your armpit a little bit? And then just move gently, like maybe 1 or 2 centimeters, maybe a half an inch, just flossing that right there. And then now, because your head's been tilted for a while, we might not have the strength. I want you to help your neck up. So just with your hands, help your neck up. And just notice how that feels. Notice that this might feel longer. It might feel like you have more nerves. Now we're going to do that. We're going to do that on the other side. So just allow the ear to come down. Notice that the tendency is to have the shoulder come up and to move our body this way. We want to try and just keep that in the cervical spine. So keeping our shoulders straight, just letting that ear flow down, letting the tip of the head flow down to the floor. Breathing into that, and then now bring your attention to this shoulder. And from all the way to the tip of the head, all the way down to the neck, through the shoulder, just allow that shoulder to go back just a little bit. Back and down. And then now tilt your chin into your arm, towards your armpit. And then just do those little micro movements again. Little tiny micro movements. Good. And then release again. Bring your hands up to your head and help your head go straight. So you should feel a little bit of a release in your neck. There's so many different ways to manipulate that a little bit differently so we can hit all the different striations of muscle and fascia that we have there. So I encourage you to try and move around and do that quite often. We're going to take the ear down to the first shoulder again, and we're going to encourage the opposite shoulder to come down. And then we're going to take that arm, push our palm backwards. I'm going to see if I can't help stand up. Push that palm backwards and then see if you can't reach it back to your opposite hip. Maybe even hold on with the opposite arm or opposite hand and allow the neck to drop down again. So that might feel a little bit different. You might have that coming down your arm now. And then now bring your head up. That wasn't quite as intense. We didn't hold it as long. Take the other ear down. Take the other hand, reach it away, palm back, and then swing that back behind your opposite buttocks. Hold on to it if you can with your opposite hand, and just feel that stretch. And then release it back. Give yourself a shake. Shake it out, shake it out. And I'm going to come back a little bit more, and we're going to do tiny cat-cows. So this right here, with a back nice and straight, I got my knees wide open so I can pull my belly down and my spine can release down and kind of do a little bit of an arch. This is called cow, and if you envision, yogis are so funny. It's been around for thousands and thousands of years, and with this particular position, they thought that you look like a cow because cows have all these udders down here and kind of a sway back. So we're going to just make ourselves sway back. We're going to take our tailbone up and our chest up. You can lengthen the front of the neck a little bit as well. And then now on an exhale, we're going to tuck our tailbone under and then pull that belly in and round the back, opening up through the thoracic spine, opening up the shoulder blades nice and wide apart from each other and taking our chin down towards our chest. And then we're going to undulate again, opening up, pulling the shoulder blades back and down and opening up with an arch again, and then tucking under and exhaling into the back of the body here, and then release. Yeah, and then we're going to sit with those feet, legs nice and wide, and we're going to take one shoulder forward. These are great things to do when you're in front of the computer all day or even watching TV. Do this a lot of times watching TV. This gives you a nice long stretch on the side of the body that the shoulder is coming forward. Feel that from the hip all the way up to the shoulder, and then come back to neutral. Take a big deep breath, and then exhale, rotate the other way. Bringing the shoulder forward, keep that hip back. Now, as we move and open up the body, we want to be very cautious and cognizant of our spine. We don't want to be our spine, kind of bending and flexing and bending and flexing and bending and flexing. We want to be very, very cautious with that, especially because we're over a certain, I think that after 30, we're no longer producing, we kind of, our body and our everything just kind of, we slow down the growing process. So we want to make sure that we're taking care of ourselves after 30, after 40, after 50. So we don't want to do quick movements of the spine. We want to be very mindful of it. Okay, roll the shoulders again, bring your arms up, grab a hold of your left hand with your left wrist with your right hand, press your left hip down into the chair, and from the hip, open up that side body. Let the head be heavy on our right arm. So I forgot that we were doing that. I'm kind of, I'm mirroring you guys. And then now, as you're coming up like over a big ball, lengthen up and keep that length. Take the arms down, shake them out. Inhale, lift the arms up again. Grab hold of your right wrist. Lengthen up from the right hip all the way up through the side of your body. Let the head relax onto the left arm if you can, just no tension there. And just as if you're going over a big ball, just let that relax. And then inhale, lift, and then exhale, just shake it out. Okay, thank you so much for doing that with me. So those are stretches. We are not really strengthening our body when we do that, but it really helps bring energy into our body and opens us up. Now, some of the things that you can do to get more strength in your body, which we do need. Walking does help us. Doing weights helps us a lot. Using our body weight helps us a lot as well. I'm just going to check and see if anybody's in here. Oh wait, let me stop the sharing. Oh, forgot. Hi Vicky, sorry about that. I was we were doing a stretch. You'll find it on the on the replay. Okay, so what we're talking about, some weight bearing exercises. So one of the things that I love to do is do some squats. And I want you to, when you're doing a squat, I'm just going to show you right now. You don't have to do it with me, but I want you to plant your feet into the ground really deeply, like you are screwing them into the ground. And then I want to make sure that you're activating your butt muscles on the side. So I want you to activate those and allow the inner thighs to come out a little bit, right? So you'll immediately know that your butt's on because you'll feel it. And then we're just going to bend down, bending our knees, bending our ankles, bending our hips. Arms can come right in front and then come back up. Pulling your hips down, pulling your tailbone straight down, and then pressing through your heels to come back up. So just doing body weight squats, beautiful exercise, right? Also doing lunges with 1 foot forward, 1 foot back, making sure that the pelvis is neutral and that we're not leaning forward. We're going to go straight down. That knee goes straight down. It's in alignment with your ear, your shoulder, your hip, and your knee, and coming back up. Same side on the other side. Another thing that you can do for your upper body. So if you don't want to get down on the floor, you can do this on a wall. You can do this on a table, on a desk. Right here is your plank. This is your core, working everything. Everything is nice and tight from our heels all the way up to the tip of our head. And then we can add a push-up. Elbows going back behind us and then pushing away, keeping our body very straight as we do that. Okay? We good with that? Who's going to try that later today? Yeah? Squats, lunges, push-ups. You can do that on the wall too. You can just kind of push yourself back from the wall. Just keep that body nice and rigid. All right, good job, good job. All right, so I told you that we would, I don't know why I got the chair. All right, good job. So the question then becomes, why aren't we doing that as much as we want to regularly, right? And are we honoring our body in the way that we want to honor our body? Yeah, everybody take a glass of water. And yes, we have the knowledge, and sometimes that knowledge helps us become more aware of our habits and what we're doing. But there might be something that we're missing between the knowledge and the actual action, right? And a lot of the times that's what I work with clients. I work on what is stopping them from, if they want to do something and they don't have that result yet, what is it that's stopping them from doing that? Because as you know, it's not the prefrontal that has that desire, that prefrontal has that desire. It doesn't matter what that prefrontal desire is if the crewmen in the boat aren't on board with that desire, if it's stopping them from getting that desire met. right? So I work with people on that to get them unstuck, to get the rewiring of our brain so it's safe for them to have what they want. Because otherwise, if it wasn't safe, they would have had it already. Right? If you think about that, you would have already had what you wanted already if something wasn't stopping you from having it. So I also work a lot with people on panic and anxiety and stress. So I was working with somebody yesterday. I just wanted to kind of tell you how easy this can be. It can be hard. It can kind of be simple, but it might not be easy, right? And it can be a little bit complicated, and then it might be easy once we get that taken care of, right? So it's like all variations of it. I was working with somebody yesterday, a client that was having, they call them panic attacks. I don't feel like, because you're not really being attacked, I don't think that they're panic attacks. It's your brain trying to protect you. Anxiety is your brain trying to protect you. Stress is your brain trying to protect you. So if we can kind of understand what's going on in the brain, then we can help that, and we can reframe that, and we can rewire the connections. So she was having, she wasn't sleeping. And sleep is so incredibly important, right? So the thoughts that just keep coming and coming and coming and coming, and you just can't go to sleep. Well, there's a reason for that. So with some techniques and with some like rewiring of the brain, she shut her mind off and was able to sleep, feeling 1,000% better. Now I want to ask you, if you aren't getting very much sleep, how's your energy the next morning? Go ahead, Vicki. Not there. It's not there. So we're looking at something, we're saying, oh my God, I don't have enough energy. And we're thinking that that's the cause of not getting things done. That is the cause of why we're not eating properly, why we're not exercising, why we don't have the energy to exercise, why we're not being nice, why we're being a little mean, and screaming at people who are cutting us off. That's the effect. That's not the cause, right? The cause is the wiring of the brain. The cause is that your brain is protecting you for some reason. So I just wanted to throw that out there because it's just so fascinating to me. And once you understand some of that, then you can kind of open the awareness of your actions, of your feelings, of what thoughts are going through. And you can get to know you. And that's all about feeling better. Feeling better is all about getting to know you, because who else is going to make you feel better? We're only in charge of us. We are here to take care of us. That is our job here. Our job. What is more important than me? Each person is in charge of themselves, so they can then give to others, right? I just think that is so powerful. That to me fills me with joy, because then I am not at the cause of other people. And if they gave me a dirty look, or if they, if I'm in a circumstance, watching the news today again, I get triggered. I get triggered with the mask thing too. Where, things are rising up, everything's happening. What can I do about it though? I can control me. So you know what? I'm keeping masks in my car, and I'm taking them in with me wherever I go, and I will have them there. And I'll be very subtle, but I'm not going to go up and say, here's a mask. Other people have their own things. But you know what? I can be there. I can let them know that they're there. What else can I do? I can educate people. What else can I do? I can be a really good role model of taking care of myself and being healthy. So if I get the virus, I have a better chance of doing better with it. What can I do? I can maybe look and see if I can volunteer my time for some of these children and parents, so that makes me feel like I'm in control now. right? What else can you guys do to feel more in control today? Go ahead and unmute yourselves and let me know. What do you think? What do you think, Susan?
Me, Susan?
I'll say Susan F.
I can try to do those exercises today. So,
how do you think you'll feel after that?
I usually do exercise pretty, not every day, but try to do it at least 3 times a week. So yeah. So I can do that.
Okay, I like that. Yeah. How about you, Vicki?
So intentionally, I did an exercise with our friend Susan, and realized that through COVID, I had really, I'm a fairly intentional person, lists and organized, but COVID has just really thrown me for a loop, and I didn't realize how much.
Yes.
So we did an exercise together, and it came back to me that I've just like, because I have insomnia and then I'm not really getting up at a certain time, and because I wasn't getting up at a certain time, then the things I wanted to get done or needed to get done were crowded into a space rather than being more intentional about getting up, exercising, having breakfast so that I had the fuel to move forward in my days. So I have been very conscientiously being more intentional about those things to make sure that I don't get, because I was like, I'm not a TV watcher, but through COVID, I watched so much TV and just and I realized some of that was because of just what was going on. I had to come to realize that was what was going on. There's so much unknown, and there was anxiety that I didn't realize I had. So I had to accept that was okay for the time being, but that almost became a habit.
Yes.
And I don't want it to be a habit. I'm not really a TV watcher.
Yeah.
I watch the news, I watch a movie to relax on an occasion, but I don't want that to be my normal. I'd rather be more productive in my day. So now that I'm refocusing, it's been better. Not great, but it's been better. And now I'm facing, because I've been a substitute teacher and the schools aren't opening, now I'm really having to dig deep and finding different ways to make income because I can't afford to live unless I have extra income coming in. So it's a new focus, just like being refocusing and refocusing and refocusing on the new.
Right. And being open to the opportunities.
Yes.
Being open to the opportunities. What can I do? What can I do? What, I'm all about doing, to getting a result. What can we do to get a result? I'm not just going to sit here and complain about it or, but it is so natural for us to do that. That's that fight, flight, or freeze. You were kind of freezing, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Watching Netflix. Me too. Guys, we're all a work in progress. I am by no means living, the 100% of my principles, right? It is all, and that's our job here in this lifetime. If we can kind of take a step back and out of the day-to-day, out of the year, out of the, what is our purpose here in the first place? Our purpose is to become the human that we're supposed to become. And however it comes is the way it's supposed to come.
Being open to that. Yeah, being open to that, right? It's I had in my younger years been very narrow-minded in my thoughts and focus, and just learning to, like you said, open it up to the universe, open it up to the spirit, to God's spirit, however we view it, but just being more open to what is beyond what I've ever thought was normal. Or it's like learning a new language. You can't speak the language unless you know the words. You have to know those words. You have to know that language. Right.
Oh, I love that analogy. Yeah. I like that part of it. Yeah. Yeah, I love that. I just think that the possibilities, and here's the deal, like we can look at this and think that this is the worst thing that's ever happened, that, oh my God, we can be Chicken Little, we can, which I get so upset, right? But what is that doing for me? That does not serve me. And the people who I think are dingbats don't care what I think. And they don't care that I am like here huffing and puffing and being mad and all that stuff. They don't even know me. They don't know me. It doesn't do anything for them. So I have to take a step back and say, okay, you know what? That's not my realm. That's not my realm. What can I do? What can I do to increase my positivity? What can I do to help me handle this? Susan, you're going through just, a rough time. It is a rough time. And, doom and gloom, you can let yourself go there for a while, right? And then from what I know of you, you are, let's go. This is my to-do, right? So yeah, so that's, that is what you do. And I honor you for being here too. So thank you. And good juju. We're all giving Susan good juju. Okay, so I just get so excited about the possibilities. And Vicki, I might actually have a possibility for you.
I would love to hear it.
Yeah. So I wanted to talk a little bit also about, and also, you know what? Okay, so we went back to that. I'm going to share my screen again. I want to just go back to this, one slide that I just feel like it means so much right here. Self-awareness, we can look at that self-awareness, and then we have to have that self-compassion too. It's okay that we sat on the couch for a while. We needed to do it.
I really needed to give myself permission to do that.
Yeah.
Because the sitting on the couch was causing me anxiety until I realized why it would be. I have a counselor, and she then helped me work through it. And then I realized for that period of time, it was okay. So when I sat on the couch, I didn't build more anxiety because I was sitting on the couch. And eventually I got through it. It was just like grieving, I think. There's a grieving of the loss of what we had. And I've been grieving that. My world is so different now, and that's uncomfortable. It's not that it's a bad thing. I don't particularly like all of the things that are going on, but there are, like you are saying, there are different ways of looking at it and different opportunities.
Yeah. Yeah. And think about that. Think of what you're going through. And, I feel like I went through it too. What Susan's going through. Think of all the hurt and change that everybody on the planet is going through, and the uncertainty and everything else, and have that self-compassion for ourselves, and know that, it's okay, and it is what it is, and it's almost supposed to be what it is, because it is what it is, right? Because
right.
If we avoid that, if we avoid reality, that doesn't do us any good either, right? And we're avoiding because we don't want to look. We don't have compassion for ourselves. We don't have compassion for others. We don't have compassion for what's going on. If we can look at it and say, wow, this is tough. This is really going on. This is tough. All right. Yeah, no wonder. No wonder people are being crazy. No wonder I'm going nuts, right? No wonder. It's okay. It's okay. Yeah. So then that's where the self-care comes in. So, I could talk about this all day long. I'm sorry about that. So the one thing I want you to, let's work on those next. Let's make sure that we are standing up for ourselves in the best way possible. Now, Ann Cuddy, I don't know if you know Ann Cuddy, but I'm going to go back to my view here. Ann Cuddy is the one who is like your body, the way you move your body helps you get into a mental state, which it does. It's all a circle, right? So one of her things is like a power pose, right? So Vicki, what you might be able to do in using this to getting up and getting some exercise on, you might want to just kind of envision yourself in bed, you know, like power pose, and then out of bed, standing right next to your bed, feeling powerful, you know, whatever that pose means to you. I'm gonna go get it. You know, because once you're in some kind of a pose like this, everybody stand up. I don't know if Susan can, but stand up and get your hand. And I want you to make like a, let's get powerful. Let's make our fists and boom, put them on your hips. Stick that chest out. Open up that chest. Big deep breath. Do that too. Let's do that too. Let's give a good grunt. Did you see how that changed? Kind of the energy? Yeah? I mean, you know, yeah. So that can also kind of spur us on, right? Yeah. So, and yeah, you know, you don't even want to stop because it is a powerful, it's powerful. This is you after your workout. This is you taking care of you. This is you getting through that chemo today, Susan. Anything helps, right? Okay, so I'm going to go back to our digestion just because I want to kind of pull this in a little bit. Thank you so much, guys. I want to pull this in because I also think, okay, so this is Ann Cuddy here. I got to move my thing. Posture not only shapes the way we feel, it also shapes the way we think about ourselves. I don't know. Oh, let me pull this into, wait, how do I do this? All right, I'm sorry. I'm not a PowerPoint person. Posture not only shapes the way we feel. So think about this. If you're slumped like this, how do you feel? Not so good, right?
Like the way it looks.
Yeah, it's not even, doesn't even look good.
No.
From our self-descriptions to the certainty and comfort with which we hold them. So yes, there are self-descriptions. I'm overweight. I can't do anything right. I am so old. Those, they serve to comfort us in some way because we've been saying them for so long for our comfort. But they can either help us or hinder our ability to perform and to be present and to connect with others. So what we say and how we are physiologically matters. And I just think that that's just so beautiful. Okay, so now I don't know how to do this. I guess I need a view. Let me see.
I think right click or something.
Right click. Here, present
On the
slideshow maybe.
Yeah.
No, okay, so, and then, there we go. All right, thank you. So with the digestion, I just want to make sure that it's important that you kind of know a couple things. Number one, digestion starts in our mouth. And in our mouth, we have enzymes that, that help digest our food. So we don't just want to ingest our food and eliminate our food. We want to absorb all the nutrients in the food, right? And all of these steps, there are 7 steps in digestion that we need to do in order for those nutrients to get into our body and help us. And it starts in the mouth. And one of the things that I notice when I get completely stressed, I shovel food in. I just, I'm so busy, my critter brain's on and I am just like, I just somehow have to eat. And it helps me. I feel like it, I'm doing it to try to calm myself down. I'm doing it because I'm bored. I'm doing it because I want to avoid something that I should be doing. I'm doing it because I'm feeling like I don't have any control, right? So what happens when we don't chew our food is that we're missing a real critical part of digestion. And that is with the manual chewing of the food, breaking that food down. Do you know that it takes 30 seconds of each bite in our mouth to break it down? When was the last time you ever had a piece of food in your mouth for 30 seconds besides gum? Right? Like, isn't that crazy? So if you can think about that, and just like the next time you eat, think about taking that bite and literally looking at your clock. Another way that you can do it is some people say 30 chews if you don't want to look at a clock. I think 30 chews is a lot quicker than 30 seconds, but that's okay because it's probably a lot shorter than, it's probably a lot longer and more chewing than you're used to doing, right? Any little thing can help, right? So, and that gives your body time to respond with, oh, she has food in her mouth. I need to pump out some enzymes that help her break down that food. And we break down our starchy carbohydrates and some of our fat when we're chewing the food. When we're chewing the food by the enzymes and the protein as we chew the food, right? Think of beans. Think of nuts. Think of even meat. It doesn't just automatically go away. We have to really chew that. That's what we have teeth for, right? So we need to use those teeth. And then it goes down our esophagus. And there's also something to be said about the rhythmic movement of the food going down the esophagus too, that might kind of internally be providing us some comfort because it's a rhythm that's going through our body. I know that that's kind of deep too, right? And the stomach doesn't actually process food. The stomach just breaks down food. So if you're constantly putting stuff in the stomach, when what you have in the stomach already is already broken down, there's a hatch door that opens up and takes it into the next step, gets it processed by the liver and the pancreas, and then goes into our small intestine. If that door, if the food in the stomach is like, okay, now this food's ready to go to the next phase, that door won't open if we're constantly putting more food in the stomach, because the stomach says, hey, I'm not done. I need to process all of this food. So that food can stay in the stomach for a lot longer than it really should. It really needs to go down and be processed and pulled in through the small intestine and all that kind of stuff, where it actually is being absorbed. And then the large intestine, of course, absorbs it's really full of the minerals and vitamins and water, right? It pulls out all the water. So that's like a big picture of it, but I think that those points are really critical to understand, that we don't want to be putting things in our stomach all the time. We want to have an empty stomach. We want our body to feel empty. That's a good thing. Another thing that is something that you might want to check if you have any kind of acid reflux or something, the stomach is supposed to be doing the food, breaking it down with stomach acid. The stomach is supposed to be acid. If we drink too much water while we're eating, then that acid gets diluted and we don't process our food as well. While we want to drink water, we want to do it separately than eating. And that might help you with acid indigestion or stomach reflux. Also, we don't want to be lying down after we eat. We want to make sure that the stomach, it takes about 3 or 4 hours for that food to get through that stomach. If we don't keep shoving that, adding more. Every time we add more, it stops that progression. I think that's huge. I think that for me, that was a big info. Let's see.
Why is lying down after eating not a good thing? Does it inhibit the stomach from processing?
Well, I think that we have a sphincter that goes up too.
Yeah.
And we just want to make sure that we can give it as much chance as we can to keep that in the stomach and process through. Whereas if we're lying down, it's not as effective. Now think about it. I mean, people do lie down after they eat, but it's probably not as effective.
Thank you.
Yeah. And and you don't want to go and like work out real heavy after you eat either, because you stop digestion when you're under stress. Working out is stress, but it's a good stress. And you stop digestion when you're working out. Now, if you go for a nice gentle walk, that's fine, because that's rhythmic, that's taking care of your body, that's not stressful. It's just like that fight, flight, freeze. When we're in a stressed environment, we don't process our food well. Our digestion does not work as well. So when we're in that low grade stress, that low grade anxiety, that low grade stuff, we're just not processing very well. We're not absorbing the minerals that we need. It can pass through us without having the good stuff really get into us. So this is going to be a homework item for you guys. And it's really going to be getting kind of deep into your relationship with food. And oh, look at that crate. Crate. Oh, what did I do? Okay, I didn't mean create a script, I meant create a script. Although if you want to create something up and take it to Goodwill, go do that. Just not a script. So I want you to think about what your relationship is with food. You know, yesterday we talked about our relationship with sugar, right? And again, I don't want to demonize food. I don't want to demonize sugar. I don't want that. I want you to understand your relationship with it. For example, my relationship with food, I could say, man, I've really relied on food to make me feel better. And the food could, what? Oh, you know what? That was my phone. And the food might be able to say back, oh, yeah, you really wolfed me down. You didn't even get a chance to enjoy my taste. You know, that kind of hurt my feelings. And then I could say, oh, I didn't even realize that would be something that would might affect my food. You know, like kind of be a little bit playful, but something will come out. Something will come out that will hit you deep, and you will have that reflection, and you will be, wow, I never thought of it that way. Okay, it's really big. And if you want to take it a little further, you can also have that conversation with your digestive system. Okay, and wow, I didn't appreciate how much you do. I didn't appreciate how incredibly subtle and how they work together and how awesome our digestive system is, right? Does everybody understand that? Is that good? Yeah, so that's going to be homework. And then homework also will be, you know, your 30 minutes of movement. And then it will also be doing some of the exercises, the squats, the lunges. And that's in addition to whatever exercise you are already doing, because those squats, those lunges, those push-ups can take you 5 minutes, right? You don't even need equipment. If you want to get down on the floor, crank out some push-ups, go do it, right? Go for it. Just, no. What, Vicki?
Just for fun, I unexpectedly stopped and was able to hear some music Tuesday and Wednesday, and I love music and dancing. Susan, you know that, Susan, because I've connected through our friend Susan here, through our other friend Susan, and her husband happens to be a musician. So, so anyway, and I do that dance to the floor and back up again. And so that we were doing a lot of salsa kind of stuff. So down to the floor and back up again. So I got lots of exercise in the last 2 days. The other thing is I had a Google glitch.
That too.
I had a Google glitch yesterday, and I did not find your email.
Okay.
It's disappeared, so make sure that I'm still on your list so that I get the one that you're going to send, so I can connect tomorrow, and it'll probably have this reminder in it to do this this assignment. So I'll do that. Okay.
It will. Yeah, it will. Thank you. Yeah. And you know what? I would really want to encourage you to put down in the Facebook group what you're able to do for that workout. Okay. And then also, if you're able to share the script, the conversation between you and food, and maybe you and your digestive system. If either one of, any one of you guys would like to do that, I think that would be really helpful for other people too, if you're willing to do that.
Okay.
Because that's pretty, I know that I keep bringing this up, that I've been in this business for 20 some years. One of the things that just really killed me about the fitness business and the health business, and I'm still on my nutrition coaching Facebook pages. I'm still on my American College of Sports Medicine training page. My Health Institute, Health Coach Institute pages. I see what these coaches are doing. I see what these people are doing. And a lot of times, like, I just want to just be like, stop. It's not about a diet. It is not about going paleo. It is not about grams of protein and it's not about this workout plan. That's not what this whole thing is about. This whole thing is about having respect and getting to know you and what works for you. And if you're not where you want to be, there's much more than a diet, because if you just go with a diet and exercise plan, okay, for a year, you'll lose some weight. You'll lose weight, and guess what? You'll go right back. It's like you're on a elastic. It'll pull you right back. So this is it. Getting to know you, getting to know your body, respecting, not going on some crazy juice fast cleanse. Yeah, sorry. I'm really on my soapbox today. I'm sorry, but I just love helping people, and that's why I'm doing this. And I just feel that we are all so absolutely amazing, and we can do whatever we want to. We just have to figure out what the hell we want, which is hard, because a lot of times we've not been able to ask for what we want. We haven't even been able to dream what we want. We've been too busy taking care of other people, and we've been not even questioning what we want. Whew, boy, it's getting deep. You guys still with me?
Yeah.
Okay. I appreciate that. Okay, tomorrow we're going to, I don't know, you guys want to practice eating? Let's bring a little piece of fruit or something, or a vegetable or something that we can just all take, we can just all take a bite, and we'll do 30 seconds of chewing just for fun. Although you guys are going to be practicing that for homework too. Yeah. Okay. Any questions?
I'll see you on Facebook, and if I have any, I'll ask.
Yeah, definitely. All right. And our best wishes are going to Susan.